All right, so in this explainer, we're going to talk about one of the biggest challenges in our modern lives, our relationship with technology. We're going to explore how to take back the reins, so your devices are actually working for you and not the other way around.
Seriously, does that little buzz or that little ping in your pocket ever feel less like a friendly heads up and more like a command? Like you have to drop everything and look? Do you ever find yourself just reaching for your phone without even knowing why you're doing it?
Yeah, you're not going crazy. That feeling is 100% real. And trust me, it is incredibly common. It's just a side effect of living in a world that's always plugged in, always on, and always fighting for a little piece of your attention.
So this whole experience actually has a name. It's called the always-on problem. And being always on, well, it comes with some pretty real costs to our well-being.
And I bet these symptoms are going to sound familiar. You've got that always-on anxiety, right? The feeling that you can't really relax because a work email might pop up. Or how about fragmented attention? Trying to read a book but checking your phone every 2 minutes. And then there's the real physical stuff, the eye strain and that literal pain in the neck, tech neck, from looking down all day.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom here. There is a really powerful way to fight back against this overload. And it's called a digital detox.
So what even is that? Well, to put it simply, it's just a conscious choice to step away from your devices for a set amount of time. And the key word there is voluntarily. This isn't about being punished or forced offline. This is about you deciding to take back control. Now, it's really important to get this straight. This is not about giving up technology forever. The goal is not to quit, it's to recalibrate. It's all about shifting from this, reactive, almost compulsive relationship with your tech to one that's intentional and feels balanced.
So why bother? I mean, really, what's the actual payoff for unplugging, even just for a little bit? Well, turns out the benefits are pretty huge, and they impact both your mind and your body.
Okay, first up, your mental health. Every single notification can trigger a tiny release of the stress hormone cortisol, and that just adds up all day long. Stepping away from that breaks the cycle. It also gets you off that endless social media treadmill of comparison, which, as we know, is directly linked to anxiety and FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Next up, sleep. I know we've all heard this, but it is so true. The blue light from our screens literally tricks our brains into thinking it's still daytime. It messes with melatonin, the hormone that helps us sleep. Just putting the phone away an hour before bed lets your brain naturally wind down, which leads to much deeper, more restorative rest. And what about your focus? By getting rid of those constant interruptions, you're actually giving your brain a chance to do what's called deep work. A detox can literally help you rebuild your attention span. That makes it so much easier to tackle a complex task, or heck, even just finish an article without getting sidetracked.
And hey, let's not forget the physical stuff. Your eyes get a much-needed break from all that digital strain, and your neck and your spine get a rest from that hunched-over tech neck position that we all fall into. It's such a simple way to fight off those daily aches and pains.
Okay, so maybe you're sold. But how do you actually start? Well, the great news is you don't have to go on some week-long silent retreat in the mountains. Let's look at a simple 3-level game plan to get you going.
The whole key here is to just start where you're comfortable. So the beginner level is all about creating small tech-free zones. Super simple things like no phones at the dinner table or keeping your phone out of the bedroom. Level 2 gets a little more immersive, maybe with a digital Sabbath, 1 full day offline a week, or deleting those super addictive apps. And then the advanced level, well, that's going all in, like a completely device-free vacation. The point is just to pick one that feels doable for you right now.
All right, starting is one thing, but making it stick, that's the real challenge. So let's cover a few key tips to make sure your detox actually, works.
These 4 steps are basically your foundation for success. First, just tell people you'll be offline for a bit so they don't think you've disappeared. Second, and this is so critical, plan what you're going to do instead. Boredom is the #1 reason people give up. So grab a book, go for a hike, play a board game, whatever. Third, you can actually use tech to fight tech. Set up Do Not Disturb modes or use apps that block other apps. And finally, the most powerful part, just observe your own impulses.
This right here, this is the golden question. When you feel that automatic urge to grab your phone, just pause for a second and ask yourself why. Do I actually need to look something up, or am I just trying to escape a feeling of boredom or a little bit of anxiety? That one moment of self-awareness is where the real change starts to happen.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. This whole process, it's not about being anti-technology. Not at all. It's about being pro-intention. It's about changing your devices from being the masters of your attention back into being tools. Tools that you use thoughtfully and purposefully to make your life better.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. You don't have to do everything all at once. What's just one small, meaningful step you can take right now? Maybe it's putting your phone away during dinner tonight, or maybe it's just leaving it in another room for the next hour. What's the one screen you'll choose to put down today?